Hi everyone, this is Rajiv Dabhadkar. Uh, I found the NOSTOPS, the National Organization for Software and Technology Professionals, and I've been on the H-1B visa issues, the guest worker issues in the US from the Indian side. And I'm very happy to introduce a good friend of mine. We've been working on the same issues for the last 20 years, but he's been working from the American Tech Worker Organization side. He's been a very big advocate on the space of the H-1B visas and the rights for American citizens, and having a very balanced view on the guest workers. And he has been very uh, crucial to the cause, especially because his proposal of foreign guest workers getting paid the highest based on their skills is now been heard by the U.S. administration and has been implemented. So I would like to introduce you to Kim Berry from the Programmers Guild. He's in California. Hi, Kim.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Rajiv. And let's see. I guess I'll start with a little background of the Programmers Guild. And
Yeah, please
okay,
do.
um, so the Programmers Guild was founded by John Miano around 2000 as a guild where members could connect to each other. This is before there was the internet and social media options available. But through the years, and especially after the 2001 dot-com crash, the primary focus of the guild became addressing the displacement of qualified Americans with foreign workers.
Right.
Uh, Okay.
Go ahead. Go
And
ahead.
all right. And let's see. I have a BS degree in computer science from California State University. I've worked at Hewlett Packard NEC and in the private sector.
Excellent. Excellent. Can you
And
tell us, can you tell briefly about your advocacy work, especially on the guest workers that you have been working on?
okay, so yeah, within the Programmers Guild, it was about 15, 20 years ago, the guild was very active. I had been on CNN Lou Dobbs. I was almost weekly asked for commentary in newspaper articles, but then it just died off. At least like 10 years ago, the issue just sort of died, and it's only been President Trump that brought this up as an issue. He brought it up a bit in his first term, but now it's really forefront with some proposals that, yeah, interestingly, are things that we had been proposing almost 20 years, and this lottery was a big part of what we saw as the problem.
Correct. Right. So I agree with you. So what do you think would these reforms mean today, especially with the huge amount of guest workers who are currently in the US on the H-1B visas? I mean, there's a lot of uh, issues that there has been a displacement of jobs and stuff. So one, why has it taken so many years, and what's your take on what's going to happen now?
Okay, yeah, why has it taken so many years? Even back then, we only get a few senators like Grassley and Durbin. Only a few would even want to run with the issue. I think most were afraid or didn't really grasp the issue. And when they would listen to us that had no money, no contributions to give them, they would go back to Bill Gates and um, Oracle and big contributions, and NASCOM from India too, that much more
Yeah.
powerful lobby, and somehow they would get their ear and the issue would be dropped.
Okay. So can you tell about what's been going to happen now with the reforms in place and your proposal of uh, ending the lottery, which you've been saying for the last 2 decades? How is that going to help? Will that not help the guest workers, or would that help? Would that mean stopping the H-1B visa program, or there seems to
Okay,
be a lot of
actually, it doesn't it doesn't stop it. In fact, it gives a better opportunity for H-1Bs that truly have skill. Let's say industry likes to call them the Einsteins, right? But what's happening now, because of the lottery, the majority of the petitions are for the low skilled level one. And so that's what the majority of the approvals are. And so they're rejected at the same rate as, let's say, a PhD, chemical researcher, whatever it is that some company says they really want, and they're rejected in the same category as a level one, let's say, economist or level one programmer might be. So what I guess I'll go on and what the proposal is. The proposal is currently a lottery. Everyone's the same, but what they've proposed is there is 4 wage categories, level 4 being the highest wages and implying that the most skilled. The average for level 4 is 162,000 per year, whereas
Right.
level 1 salary is 85,000 per year. So big range. If you're level 4, they want to give you 4 times the odds of getting the position, and level
Right.
3 3 times, level 2 2 times, and down to level 1. So it still means that some level 1s are going to be selected while some level 4s won't, but it just increases the odds. And um, I guess I have an analogy that could make that a little more clear if you'd like.
Please, please do. Please do.
Okay,
Yes.
so I mean, suppose you have 100 friends, 50 male and 50 female, and you're having a party that you could only have 25 guests. You want to be fair. You're just going to draw a lottery. You're going to put their names in a hat. But
Right.
then you have the idea, I'd like to have more girls at my party. So what you do is you say, I'm going to put each girl's name in my hat 4 times. That means at the end of it, you have 200 200 pieces of paper with females and 50 with the males. And then
Right.
when you draw it, you're drawing from the same pool, but just your odds of the 250, your odds are you're going to end up with 20 girls and 5 guys. And so similar to the 20 is the level 4 and the 5 is the level 1. So
Actually,
that's
I guess that helps quite a bit to understand the wage levels. Yeah, yeah.
okay.
So, okay. I mean, would this wage levels, would that mean that the less skilled or the semi-skilled workers would not be able to arrive in the US on the H-1B visa?
Well, they would have a lower a lower odds of getting in. And what they should try to do at that point is improve their skills, find a better employer that's going to pay more. It's based on pay. So if an
Right,
employer is offering you 45,000 a year, you don't have much odds, but you try to promote yourself. I got 5 years experience. I know all these things. Find a better employer. Find one that's going to pay 100,000 a year, and then your petition is more likely to get approved.
right. But Kim, there has been my experience, which over the years, uh, let's say in a rural America, states like Maine, Nebraska, where these, American employers, which I would be openly say the body shops, have been filing petitions from rural sectors in the US and placing them into the cities at American companies. Basically, buying them low and bidding them high within America. How would
Yeah.
that go?
Oh, so you're saying even in America, they could have a body shop of Americans in West Virginia, let's say, where wages are low, but then they
I would say,
bid
I
on
don't know if
contracts in New York. And
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
don't know if you remember, I don't know if you remember, there was from Indiana, I guess, or Maine was it? One we had shared, I guess, years ago, a petition for an H-1B for working at McDonald's, getting paid $15 an hour.
Yes. Oh, if you look at the LCAs for H-1B, you'll see them down
Right.
$12 an hour hotel clerks. And
All right.
that's the problem with the lottery. That $12 an hour hotel clerk has the same odds as a $100 an hour talk technic person. So
So
that's what.
how would that change now? I mean, with the wage levels, could an employer at this rural belt, for example, away from the cities, can afford to pay such high salaries?
Well, maybe they cannot, and we have to acknowledge there is a bit of unfairness because let's say in New York,
Right.
someone at McDonald's might make $30 an hour,
True.
and in Louisiana, a best programmer makes 25 an hour. So it would be difficult to try to balance this for wages and regions, and it would just make it unworkable. But no matter what the solution, something's going to be unfair. There is no
I agree. Yeah.
perfect way of doing this. And also the wage, let's say a pharmacist, an entry-level pharmacist might make 150,000 a year, where that's the top pay for a programmer too. And we're not doing different salary levels for each possible 100 salary career type positions as well.
I guess eventually this is a good start to begin with, to be very honest with you. And I guess it's going to evolve eventually. If I mean the skills gap would eventually arrive into a new forward-looking proposals moving forward is what I see. But for now, yes, there has to be a weighted wage system in place. And thanks to you, it's finally getting implemented.
Yeah, something that's been my dream for almost 20 years, just to see this simple thing. And
Yeah, it's
yeah, so
finally
we'll
happening.
see how it works, and we will see if the next president sweeps it off the table. If they don't get congressional approval for this, executive order could make this all go back in a couple of years.
Oh, okay. So, this is a conversation about value creation, basically. It's
Mhm.
not about the US or India, but it's about the workforce mobility issues that we've been talking about, the jobs displacement and such. I see, I mean, can you give me an advice or your suggestion? How could value creation help with the way things, the reforms are going to happen? How is that going to help India and the US?
Okay. I mean, there's a couple things. One is H-1Bs that are already here. Suppose they came as a level one, but they've been here 3 to 6 years. More of those are going to be going back with the American skills. That's an
Right,
opportunity for India to say, hey, we have these American trained people coming back.
right,
Let's
right.
provide an opportunity for them. And so both the government and India need to look at that. And we can't deny that India has done some things very well. They have built global TCS, Infosys to global giants, and they deliver too. You can't deny that they deliver on their projects.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yeah. I think that's a big. Can the government, U.S. government, maybe create an inclusive workforce where the guest workers can also be a part of it moving forward? Do you see that happening, working together with American citizens?
well, yeah, I think this is going to take away some of the being forced to train my replacement type thing. So people tend to respect if someone comes in, it doesn't matter if you can tell they have the skills and they're a good leader. You're more likely to respect them as a colleague than you think someone's just in here to be cheap labor. So it's going to improve morale among between the H-1Bs and the Americans, and together they can accomplish more as well.
Right, right. That is going to be wonderful. Okay, I guess we have most of the questions covered, but I just have one personal approach to this. Can both the governments work on the trade agreements based on the upgrades to the labor policies which is happening in the US? I mean, immigration and the wage, which is the Department of Labor. The same thing has been happening in India. They are rewriting the labor codes here, which has never been
Hmm.
done in the last 70 years. So, do you see this change happening parallel with both the governments is going to lead us towards maybe a better trade between both the countries?
Yeah, I think, and it's hard to say with AI. It's hard to say what's going to happen in 2 years. We don't know what's going to happen. AI might take over everything, but things are happening, things are changing, and
Yeah, that's going to.
yes, it's AI has opened a lot of opportunities, a lot and
Mm,
innovation, and so there's room for everyone. And India can build on their skills. USA could do some things too. USA, our colleges are stumbling now for a few reasons. Some of them have decided that the SAT is bad, and so they're just letting people in without the SAT, and some of them, they're
Wow.
getting a lower quality of student now because they say, well, the SAT, rich people can pay for tutors and game the SAT. But no, there's articles now that they're coming in, they don't know basic math because you didn't do any screening for them. So, and then my experience at school, and maybe it's worse now, is I just wanted to learn databases and programming and send me out in the world to be a technical leader, but I had to take all of these liberal arts. I had to have a second language. I took French for 2 years. How did
Right.
I ever use French in my career? And even some like calculus 3, I never needed that as a programmer. So I think USA could reform their education to turn out in 4 years much better candidates. I know India can do it in 3 years, right? You have a 3-year BS degree. USA
Yes.
could do the same thing. We have 2-year degrees, we have 4-year degrees, and let's turn out people that really can do the job.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kim. In fact, that's the reason for this first podcast, and I wanted to start with you, especially uh, because the idea for having conversations with experts and those who know the industry, like yourself, from India side, it's all about money creation. Our education systems has been rote learning with an eventual objective. When you graduate, you go and take up a job. So as I was growing up, I went to America because for better education, which is eventually for a better job. But I
Yes,
think with many Indians looking at India now from out of India, many from the US and other parts of the world, the objective is to have conversations driving towards value creation.
yes,
I mean, that's the main objective. So I'm hoping
yes, and
that
and I guess, and along that line is USA could focus more on entrepreneur type visas, because one of the arguments for having foreign workers in general, they say, well, a foreigner founded Intel and a foreigner founded different large companies. Well, that's true, but of the million H-1Bs, not many are really entrepreneurial founders. Much more are banging out code for 3 to 6 years and going home. But we could we could say, okay, not only we have level 4, but show that you're an entrepreneur. Show that you can really come here and run with something and launch something as well. So that um, is
good,
another
good,
win-win we could have.
very true, very interesting. Well, Kim, this has been an interesting conversation. I'm sure our audience would definitely want to reach out to you, and we would definitely want to speak to you more on other issues. But I want to start with the H-1B visa issues because that's currently creating a lot of anxiety and uncertainty among a lot of people.
Yes.
So,
Right.
so we'll catch up
Okay. Well,
soon.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
thank you. Thanks, Rajiv, for putting this together and for everything you've done, both from your perspective of working in the U.S. and in what you see going on in India as well. So I really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We'll
Okay.
catch. Yeah,
Bye.
bye bye.